Solo travel is now booming. There are a lot of people now who are not waiting on family and friends, and for many, this is the time that they're booking that first solo cruise. Solo cruising can be a liberating and exhilarating experience. But even so, solo cruising isn't for everyone. So I put together 5 categories of people who may want to reconsider solo cruising or look for alternatives. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Cheryl, also known as SIGCruiser, that's solo, introvert, and gluten-free cruiser. In this video, I've put together a list of 5 categories where cruising solo may not be the best option. Now, if you're a person in one of these 5 groups, you may want to reconsider solo cruising or look for alternatives, and I will share some of those with you as well. Okay, are you ready? Let's get started. Now, category number 1 is going to be for the solo cruiser who is looking for the ultimate amount of cost savings. If you're looking to cruise solo and to find great solo deals all the time, or expect the price to be half price, solo cruising may not be for you. Solo cruising can be the most expensive way to cruise, not only because of the cruise fare and double occupancy. There are additional things that where you have a travel partner you may share costs with, well, you're going to have to pay those costs all on your own. Now, first for the cabin. Now, going solo and booking a cabin solo may be the most expensive part of solo cruising. Whether you get a regular cabin and it's double occupancy, they account for 2 people being booked in the cabin and base the cabin price on 2 people booking in a cabin. So if you sail solo, you're going to cover the cost of 2 people booking that room. And sometimes on some cruise lines, even more than 2 people sailing in a cabin. Now, the great thing or not so great thing is that some ships are now offering solo cabins. But as I always caution, check the pricing of solo cabins and compare those to regular cabins at double occupancy, because sometimes just because it's priced as no solo supplement or no single supplement does not mean it's the most affordable option for that ship or that cruise. Now, in addition to the cabin, you're also paying full price for any additional expenses associated with the trip that you would normally share with someone else. Let's say you're booking a pre and post cruise hotel stay. Well, that hotel cost maybe normally you would split with the other person traveling with you, but if you're traveling on your own, you have to cover those costs as well. Same goes for rideshare to and from the port. Maybe if you're sailing with someone, you would split that cost, but if you're sailing solo, that's going to be all on you and on you to find the least expensive option if that's of a major concern to you. So what do? Well, if budget is a concern for you, the first thing that I would say is to plan out your budget. Determine how much you want to spend on cruise fare, but also determine how much you want to spend on your entire trip, including pre and post hotel stays, flights, your tips, money to shop with, money to gamble with if you plan to play in the casino. So figure out all of your incidentals so that you can find a cruise that fits within your budget. Now, but also remember, just because it's the least expensive doesn't mean that it's going to provide the best experience for you. So that's something that you want to consider as well. Because a bad experience is not worth your hard-earned dollars, no matter how inexpensive the cruise is. Now, if a cruise is outside of your range, look at ways that maybe you can bring it within your range. Can you push the dates out? Can you modify the itinerary a little bit? So first, start with your budget and then find a solo cruise that falls within your total budget. My second category is first-time cruisers. Now, this would be not only first-time solo cruisers, but first-time cruisers period. Because if you're new to the cruising game, the experience itself can be overwhelming. There are so many options to consider and so many things to choose from. And also learning to navigate a ship, learning to understand what excursions are and what excursions to take, figuring out your dining options, plus all the extras that may be specific to the particular ship and cruise line that you choose. Now, if you're unfamiliar with all this and you just pick a random cruise, well, you might be disappointed because you may come across things that you wish you would have known about, or you could make a lot of mistakes that could have been prevented and you end up having a miserable cruise. And it's not that the cruise was miserable, it could be because of things that you were unaware of. Like, a lot of ships are different. Their floor plans may be different, they may have different venues on different levels. And for dining, I have heard of cruisers only eating in the buffet, not realizing that there were other included dining options on the ship. So they limited their dining experience only because they didn't know. So what can you do if you fall within this category? So if you're totally new to the cruising experience, you're going to need to do a lot of research. And I mean a lot of research. Research on different cruise lines. And then once you've picked the cruise line, you also need to research the cruise ship to make sure that it has the vibe and the type of entertainment that you're looking for. And also the type of dining options that you're looking for, and that they can accommodate any issues that you may have. Now, of course, another option to me, and I think the best option for someone who has never solo cruised, at least on booking your first solo cruise, I would highly advise working with a travel agent, and preferably a travel agent who solo travels themselves, because they can give you firsthand knowledge and firsthand experience of what to expect, what to plan for, and share with you the mistakes that they've made in the past to keep you from making those same mistakes. Some mistakes can be frustrating, but other mistakes can be costly. You know, the best thing about working with a travel advisor is that it's all at no cost to you. You pay the same price whether you're working with a travel agent or whether you book directly through the cruise line. And also, working with a travel agent, in addition to getting the additional advice and information and tips, they may even be able to add some extra benefits to your booking. Again, all at no cost to you. Hey, are you enjoying these tips so far? Well, I hope you are. And if you are, I will hope you will give me that thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't already, I hope you will subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that you'll know when I create video tips like these and more. My third category is for people who prefer structured itineraries and structured activities. If you prefer to go on a trip and have an exact list of activities and dining times and things to do, everything planned and laid out for you, a set schedule for you to follow, well then solo cruising may not be for you. Solo cruising allows for the complete freedom and control of your exact itinerary and your schedule. Cruise lines will offer a list of activities throughout the day, and some activities are overlapping. So it will be up to you to decide what you like, what you want to do, and to plan out your day each day, even your dining time, and scheduling your activities around your dining time. And with so many activities listed, and depending on how the app is, or if you're comfortable with looking at a daily planner, scheduling your activities can sometimes be frustrating, especially when there are events that overlap and you want to attend them both. Well, they may be offered at a different day and time throughout the cruise. So it's up to you to navigate those plans, put those plans together, resolve any conflicts in the activities that you want to do. So what can you do? Well, the only thing that's going to help is knowledge. Knowledge is the best remedy. So by knowing the ship and the policies for that ship, like, are reservations required? And if they are, scheduling those reservations ahead of time, scheduling your dining reservations ahead of time so that you can plan out your activities and your day. And you can find most of this information by doing your research and going online to the ship's website to look up not only the policies of the cruise line, but also everything about that cruise ship. Another way that you can find out information is to go onto the Facebook group or other online communities for your particular sailing. Those may be run by others who cruise often, or even other travel advisors who are willing to provide you the information that you need in order for you to have the best first cruise. Cruisers love sharing their knowledge about a cruise ship or about a cruise line. Now, my next category is social butterflies. Now, if you thrive on the connection connection and the constant social interaction of family and friends, those people that you actually know and have known a long time and can connect with best, well, then solo cruising might not be for you. Now, there are some solo cruisers who love the solitude, who love being able to get away and disconnect from the world and from other people just to have that relaxation time to themselves. But others prefer constant interaction. So what can you do? Solo cruising offers many opportunities to interact with others on the ship and before you get on the ship. Of course, before you get on the ship, again, those online sailing group communities where you can meet people and chat with people beforehand, and even plan meetups as soon as you get on the ship. And there are cruise lines and ships that offer solo meetups, where as soon as you get on the ship, you can look at the schedule to see if solo meetups are scheduled. And if so, be sure to attend them, especially if there's one on the first day. That will give you the opportunity to meet with other like-minded cruisers and even solo cruisers, and perhaps provide someone that you can connect with throughout the cruise if that's what you're looking for. And one thing to consider, the more you cruise solo, the more you connect with other solo cruisers, and you may find that your paths may cross, or you may even plan to be on the same ship and sailing together, even if you're not sharing a cabin. That way, you can build up a community of other solo cruisers who travel frequently, and you may have the opportunity to have sailings where you already know someone who is on the ship. And my last category would be those with certain medical concerns. Now, if you're a person who has ongoing health issues, it might be best to have a traveling companion with you just in case any issues arrive and you're unable to speak to them. Now, of course, this is going to be on an individual basis and depending on you and any type of medical conditions that you may have. So what can you do? Well, of course, the first and the best thing to do is to talk to your doctor about your health issues and your desire to travel and to travel solo. And they can let you know any concerns that they may have or give you precautions or things for you to pre-plan for to make sure that you're okay throughout your entire trip. Another thing to do is, whether you're working alone or with a travel advisor, make sure that any medical issues that you have, you can note that in your booking profile so that the cruise line and the medical team on board are aware of any potential issues. Now, if you decide you are definitely going to sail solo, another thing you can do is that when you decide to book your excursions, consider booking the cruise line excursions. This way, if anything happens on your excursion, well, you're accounted for. There are people looking for you to return from your excursion, and as I just stated, you book that in your medical profile. Well, you have a team of people that know exactly what to do and to get you the care that you need. Now, while solo cruising offers the ultimate freedom and the ultimate experience and chance to explore at your own pace, well, it's not for everyone. But even if you fall into any of these categories and you still want to solo cruise, well, there are ways for you to challenge yourself and grow and take that first step into solo cruising. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 5 categories that I laid out. And if you are into any of these categories, I hope that you can find a way to solo cruise. Well, that's it for me for now. All right, bye-bye.